Hey everyone, so my husband asked me to make some monkey bread today during Snowstorm Fern. So we are starting off with a cup of very warm water, a cup and a tablespoon, and then we're going to add a quarter cup of honey to this. I find this an easier way to do it, and your mason jars have increments on the side. So we're going to go to about a quarter cup. There we go. Honey's always yummy. So that way then it's mixed in. I'm going to just gently stir it so it dissolves even more. I'm going to dump it into my mixer, and then we're going to add the yeast because you need the sugar and the water in order to activate the yeast. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of dry yeast into the bowl, and we're going to stir it all together. And then we're going to let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes so it can get nice and activated. You want a foam, bubbly top surface here. Once you have some bubbling activity, you're going to add 1.5 tablespoons of melted butter. You're going to add 1/2 tablespoon of salt and 1 tablespoon of dry milk. And then, ladies, your husbands are wonderful. Mine's wonderful too. So we're patient with them. And then we're going to take 1.5 cups of whole wheat flour. 1.5. And no, I didn't switch cups. I used the same cup and kept it easy. Put about 1/2 cup's worth in there because bread always takes just a little bit more flour than what you think. And 1.5. And then we're going to mix it until it starts pulling away from the bowl. Now, if you need to add a little bit more flour because it's too sticky so that you get a nice dough ball, just a little bit at a time. So it does not look like I'm going to have to add any flour to this recipe, which is wonderful, but I'm going to let it knead in the bowl for 5 to 10 minutes. So now we're going to check it real quick. We're going to see if we can get a window pane on this. And if we can, then no, it broke right away. So we need to still continue to knead it. So I'm going to check it again to see how the window pane's developing. When you get a window pane, that means the gluten's developing really well and you're good for letting it rise. Oh, beautiful. It gets really see-through. The dough doesn't break, or it takes a while for it to break. So that's a good sign. I'm going to put some oil in the bowl. I'm going to put a cover over the bowl, and I'm going to let this rise for at least an hour or until double in size, and then we'll be back to make more monkey bread. Just so you know, when you have a colder day outside, it will affect your bread and how it rises inside. So that's what's going on here. My bread is not quite doubled, but that's okay. So what we're going to do is it has risen, and I'm going to take little bits of pieces. Now I have a prepped bread pan here. You can use any pan, it doesn't. And I put butter all over on the inside of it. I have a 1/4 cup of butter melted, and I have cinnamon sugar, about a 1/4 cup of sugar and a tablespoon of cinnamon. And I literally just little pieces of bread dough, and we like little bites. So you get more cinnamon. Oops, I did that wrong, and that's okay. We're gonna dip it in, throw it in the pan, and we're going to keep going until we use up all this dough. And I need to switch my bowls because I keep doing this wrong because I'm thinking bowl 1 is right next to the bread. So sometimes you've got to adjust your sales, so to speak. And if you run out of cinnamon sugar or butter, just make more, because depending upon the size of your pieces, you could very well run out quicker than expected, and that's okay. So just make more. So now we have a loaf of monkey bread, and we're going to put the wrap back on it, and we're going to put it over on the warm stove. Hopefully it'll rise, and then when it's done rising, not quite double in size, but definitely fluffier than what it is, we'll put it in the oven at 350 for 40 minutes. So now that the monkey bread is baked, we're going to put it into a pan because it's going to ooze all over the place, all that lovely cinnamon gooiness, and that way then it's contained. That's the important part. But that's how you make monkey bread. It's delicious. We're gonna let it cool before we enjoy it. This is Kelly signing off from Yellowknife Homestead. You have a great evening.